Okay, it is SummerSlam season, guys. Actually, SummerSlam is today. I'm actually recording this on Sunday. But last night was NXT Takeover Brooklyn Part 3. Well, 3. Not Part 3, but it was 3. But other than that, it's the third one. And honestly, I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to make this review as short, sweet, and to the point because I really don't have any negative things to say about this. But dang, man. This is probably one of the best takeovers I've ever seen. And Brooklyn somehow always delivers. The second one, nah. But the first one really did pack a punch. And honestly, they did not let up. Which lets you know that if NXT can get 5 matches in 2 hours and make them all worthwhile for people who don't watch episodes from day to day, that means you're doing it right. That means you're booking it right. That means that you actually know what you're doing. If you don't have to watch an episode of NXT from day to day and you can still follow it, you're doing a good job. Raw and SmackDown especially needs to take notes. For their pay-per-views have been either on point or way off. They need to take a look at them because they don't need to be 6 hours in order to be exciting. And SummerSlam is 6 hours. I'm not thrilled about a 6-hour freaking show. But despite all that, this ain't about SummerSlam. This is about NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. All I can say is this. I cannot pinpoint which match was the match of the night because they were all amazing. We had 5 matches and they were all great. 2 hours of amazing matches. Anything a wrestling fan wants, we got last night. Seriously. You got an amazing opener with Almas versus Gargano, something I never expected. And then we got an amazing women's championship match. Of course, you got Asuka, who is probably one of the best female heels in NXT that I have ever seen. That chick doesn't need to talk much. She just shows what she got with her fist. Her fist, her feet, anything that can be a weapon, she will use it. And I love her. I love her so much as a heel. Oh my gosh. And Ember Moon, I'm sorry. If anyone can be an amazing anti-hero, it will be her. By far. It will be her. And honestly, she gave it her all that night. I really wanted her to win. I was rooting for her. But I'm fine with Asuka winning because that means Asuka's more dominant. And I also show that if Ember Moon goes up against her again at an even bigger pay-per-view, they need to do this either at the Rumble or at WrestleMania. I'm hoping at WrestleMania. Because if she wins, it'll be the most triumphant moment ever. And it'll put her way over. It'll make them both look good. But it was amazing. I can't gush enough of how great it was. And also another big surprise, we got 2 prestigious matches. And I'm saying prestigious because you got two announcers from the main roster. No, you got 1 legend and 1 announcer from the main roster coming down to be a guest commentator with these matches. You got Corey Graves that came down from Raw to be a guest commentator for the tag team match with Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering versus Sanity. And I didn't really expect Corey Graves to be there, but even Corey Graves was excited about this, and I could see why. Eric Young has always been a great wrestler, but you really do see a completely different side of him when he's in that ring with Sanity. He actually did use a lot of strategy. Kind of. In that match. But it shows that he actually tried to take the Authors of Pain down. And the fact that they were able to, even better. Even better. And now I'm going to go to another match that we never thought was prestigious, but was treated as a prestigious match because you got good old JR coming down to commentate Hideo Itami versus Aleister Black. Now, I was floored in how aggressive this match is. I knew that Aleister Black, and he used to be Tommy Inn when he was in the indie circuit. And he was actually at the UK tournament that WWE held, I think, at the beginning of this year. But other than that, you had him at the UK tournament, and he was Tommy Inn then before he was Aleister Black. But Hideo Itami gave it his all. That guy was plagued by injuries, and to see him come back and fight so hard against Aleister Black, even though he lost, he still won. That's just my opinion. Aleister Black is a dominant man, and I know he's going to be going after probably if Drew McIntyre bit my lip, ow. But if Drew McIntyre actually holds on to that belt a little bit longer, I would not be surprised it's going to go up against him. But other than that, oh my gosh, this was an amazing match. It really was. It floored me. It was just great. All around great. I was screaming to the top of my lungs. I was actually rooting for the heel, but you know I'm a heel chick, so I'm going to do that anyway. But it was absolutely great. Amazing. And the fact that Aleister won, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. But a match that I can't help but gush even more over was Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship. Was that match good? The entrance was even amazing. Oh, and speaking of entrances, Aleister Black had, like, he just came out like he's the chief. He had the chief of all entrances. And I see why Triple H always does that, have somebody that has a band playing his entrance music. He's a chief. For real. And the same thing with Bobby Roode. He will always be a chief for me, coming out with the glorious music. Even though he didn't necessarily have a choir this time, he actually did come out like with the robes, and it was just great. It was great. But the match itself was great. And the fact that Drew McIntyre beat Bobby Roode, I was like, what? I was like screaming to the top of my lungs the entire night. I had a sore throat. I didn't care. It was great. Absolutely great. Amazing. And yeah, we did have an interruption. And gosh, what was his name? Adam Cole. I think his name was Adam Cole. Adam Cole, I guess, came down and bum rushed people. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's in ROH. I don't really watch a lot of indie stuff. I should. I want to, but unfortunately I don't have much of the time. But he actually came down and he just interrupted things, and my guess is that him and Drew McIntyre are going to probably be in a feud. But other than that, guys, this was probably one of the best NXT takeovers I have seen in a long time. Seriously. I never expected 5 matches to be this good within 2 hours. And if you don't usually see NXT episodes all the time and you still get excited over every takeover, that means you're doing a good job. That means you're doing an amazing job with what you do. You know what you're doing. And I hope and pray to God that this is not going to be 6 hours of boring for SummerSlam. The stuff on the card alone is already giving me question marks in my head. So, especially the fact that Big Cass and Big Show is on the card still. But other than that, if they can pull off a good 2 hours of 5 matches that have substance for people who don't really see the show that often, then they got a lot of work to do. But other than that, guys, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Leave in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. That's a mouthful. But other than that, I am done. I will see y'all later. Look forward to my review after SummerSlam. Peace out.